Alright, everybody, we will do one more set today, a little bonus set here. And this match is in between Xnor and Shavinbaby, coming out of Group C. I think Shavinbaby is Scav, right? Pretty sure that's true. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. Alright, let's hop into it. I'm excited for this one. I think both these players are pretty good and pretty well matched, if my memory serves, so let's hop into it. Scav is Chase, says Meek. Oh, thank you. So do we not know who Shavinbaby is? Okay, I thought it was Chase, yeah. So I actually don't know anything about this player then. So Xnor up top in the red, and in the bottom right, Shavinbaby. That name is familiar. I think they played the 2v2 events. I know I've seen them before, but I believe they are new. So let's see what they have in store. I like the deck. I've seen a lot of mines today. I think mines are a little bit under leverage. I like Shavinbaby's deck too. I think it's a very stock standard deck to try to understand the game with. Squirrel Pigeon Skunk pushes are pretty powerful. I don't know, maybe you need a little bit more on the front line, like a mole or a lizard or something. I guess that was the classic this guy push with Squirrel, Mole, Pigeon, Skunk. Shavinbaby? Yeah, that probably makes more sense than Shavinbaby. I don't know. Interesting name. But Xnor has been around for a while, so I'm going to put my money on Xnor here. Let's see if Shavinbaby can provide an upset. Let's see. So far, gonna 8 farm double. Yes, okay. Cool. I actually don't mind floating the 120 food up front. It doesn't really matter most of the time, as long as you put them both down in a reasonable amount of time. Xnor being a little bit greedy here, though, going single tier 1 into a mill, and gonna have a couple scouting mines out and about on the field. I wonder if Shaven saw that one. I don't think so. Gonna go into a quick skunk. No. Okay. Falcon. Deciding on their unit comp. It looks like Shaven is gonna gear up for an attack. So let's see how much Xnor is committing. So Xnor has committed a decent amount to economy. I think it is dangerous, according to Tooth and Tail theory, to put that farm down if the opponent does not take a mill. But Shaven, it would have been dangerous if Shaven was like already at your front door, right? With like 9 or 12 squirrels. But I think Xnor will get away with that farm because Shaven is waiting for that tier 2 to come out. This is still a scary attack. Yeah, Shaven knows where that... Oh no, just... We needed like a half a second farther. And let's see... Moving forward, we're gonna just target the mill down. I don't know if that's advisable. Yeah, switches targets, but nice defense here from Xnor. And yeah, this really came down to the engagement. Oh, can he get that? Oh, the cam lives. This is great for Xnor. The cam lived. The mill took a ton of damage. Didn't die. This is exactly where Xnor wants to be. Yeah, again, I think it's all about engagements. Like, I think Shaven should have really kind of tried to gear toward to, like, more gauge like this. Like, there's no reason to try to attack the mill unless you're hyper committing to it, but I think that's just dangerous. And I was going to say this is very smart from Xnor to just keep going pedal to the metal on tier 1. Does decide to throw down at tier 2, but Shavinbaby is going to try to keep it 55th here. Going to come back and build their own mill and start playing the eco game, which I think makes sense. Like, Xnor's got the advantage right now, so yeah, this is very smart from Shaven. A little bit risky. I even think the 4 farms was fine. Like, Xnor probably... Oh yeah, look at these MGs. Shavinbaby is just like trying to bow up with these MGs, like saying, don't attack me. And they are going to make a lot of farms, so good instincts here from our capitalist player. And gonna go to 16, or think about a tier 3. The tier 3 did just get put down by Xnor. No tier 3 just yet for Shavinbaby. And Shaven needs a good fat scout at this point. Really needs to see that Badger and plan appropriately. I mean, they don't even necessarily need their own tier 3, but they need Falcons at least. They need to know it's coming. I mean, Xnor is into a lot of tier 1. I don't know. Like, board just kind of feels awkward a lot of times to me nowadays. Like, I think you'd really just rather have Badger or Wolf in most cases, right? Like, unless the opponent is really doing a lot of tier 1, or if you're doing a timing attack to just kind of sacrifice it onto the mill, that's where the board could be very strong. Like, the board would kind of guarantee this mill goes down, right? But do you lose the battle too hard? Like, I don't know. See, Shavinbaby does have third base access here in the south, so both players starting to get into that, but I feel like you gotta know the tier 3's on the way at this point. You know, there hasn't been an attack in a long time. We've both been kind of sitting, chilling on, you know, 8 to 16 farms. You know, if you're surprised by a tier 3 at this point, it's kind of your own fault. But I do think Shaven could be scouting a little bit deeper, too. I mean, the tier 3 is in a very obvious spot. So the board is going to come down now for Shavinbaby. And some more Falcons, but... I mean, Xnor's got the Badger, so let's see if they're going to try to poke and prod. I think that's the move. I think you almost always want to try to do something right when you get your tier 3. Just because you have that timing window. You know, I mean, the boar is a million miles away. Attacking right now is going to be very strong here for Xnor. Trying to find the right angle. It can always be very... can always be scary to attack as well. I mean, you hate to throw away an advantage with a poor attack. So Xnor is just going to turn around for now. Get the third base fully saturated. When you're ahead, get more ahead, is the thought process here from our Hopper player. And this is looking bad for Shavinbaby for sure. They don't know about the third base. They're very invested in MGs right now. Each of those MGs could be a farm on that third base. So if Xnor doesn't attack, this is kind of perfect, you know. And Xnor doesn't need to. He's like, great. Okay, cool. You built a bunch of MGs. You haven't built a third base yet. I mean, you do have the third, I guess, technically, but no farms on it. So Shaven is going to start putting some farms there. And I think Shaven is playing a solid game. I think they're just not scouting enough. Which is a common mistake I see people make all the time. I make it all the time. You know, you really should be scouting at least once a minute or so in Tooth to Tail. I mean, just constantly. Instead, Shavinbaby's trying to find all the perfect little spots to throw down MGs. We really, I mean... Xnor could just take his army, like, through this area right here and go hit the third base. And all this money in MGs is just not doing anything. The Chameleons are out and about here for Xnor as well. Yeah, just really starting to put together a stronger army composition. They're going to start clearing up some of these. Good boar bomb there. Going to deal a lot of damage. And all of a sudden, Shavinbaby has the opportunity to push forward. If he can get this Badger down. Oh my god. Oh my god, is Shavinbaby going to do it? No way, dude. Again, like, what did I say? It's all about engagements. Well, there are a million Chameleons left alive, so Shavinbaby fans out there don't get too excited. There are some medics or some pigeons here to help heal the Falcons, but the Chameleons are going to clean everything back up. I mean, that was a great victory for Shaven, but I think he needs even more than that for how far behind he is in economy. Like, he's got to get this third base pumping. He still doesn't know that the third base from Xnor is fully saturated. New tier 3 on the way. And does Xnor just have too many Falcons? Let's see. Lots of cams here punishing the ground army. And this time around, the cam Falcon core of Xnor's army looks like it might be enough to do it. He's going to run away for the time being, let his units heal back up, recuperate. I think that's totally fine from Xnor. He's got the better economy. And in theory, he's got the better unit composition. He just needs to make sure that, you know, he doesn't take a bad engagement. Yeah, Shavinbaby playing a really strong game of Tooth and Tail, just kind of terminally behind on economy because the lack of scouting on that third base. And Shavinbaby decided to shave off the boar from his army composition. And I think this time around is probably going to be too much. Xnor, again, just way ahead in money for such a large portion of this game. Just out-econs Shavinbaby here. And that's going to be game number 1. All right, let's see if Shavinbaby can tie it up in a game number 2. I would like to see a game go to match number 3. Hasn't it been like all 2-0s today? Over on the right, we've got Xnor, and up top, Shavinbaby with the raccoon and the owl. A couple defensive structures. Really awkward map. Really, I guess for both players, a little bit worse for Shavinbaby. And there is this little spot right here to access these bases, which is nice. Otherwise, a lot of this walling on the ramps can be quite awkward. All right, looks like Xnor is gonna take the game up to a regular 8-farm opener. Let's see. Yeah, very odd map. I'm such a campfire guy. I would so take that campfire. Especially if you had lizards or something. That's what's nice about a mole warren, is you can just throw a mole warren like right next to a campfire, and then the moles will come out, kill it, and then you can warp over to it, sell the moles, grab the cabin. Feels good, man. All right, let's see what these players decide to do. This may be the last match of the day. Let's see if Shavinbaby can win here and give us a game number 3. No, what do you... Oh my god, I thought he was going to go straight for an owl. Alright, early raccoon. Again, I mean, the early tier 2 can work. There's a very long rush distance, but I'm kind of worried by the lack of commitment from Shaven up front. I mean, if you want to do like a tier 2 start, you really got to throw that tier 2 down, like, right when it's possible, right when you first get that 120 food. I don't know if Xnor is going to really punish this. I don't think so. Double raccoon opener from Shavinbaby. Gonna be met with cams, though. A little bit unfortunate. Kind of a blind counter from Xnor. Generally, those cams do better to the raccoons. It can depend on the engagement like everything else, but yeah, if a cam can get up on a raccoon, it will smack him down pretty quickly. So the raccoon has been seen by Xnor. Loved it. Oh, are we going for more raccoons? Oh. So Squirrel Pigeon Raccoon is going to be the name of the game. Love to see him kind of take the raccoon out and grab that campfire, but he never scouted it, so he's going to just check around. Yeah, if you aren't keeping super up with Tooth and Tail, raccoons are new units, and they gain a little bit of food when they're outside of their territory. They kind of remind me of like a range bruiser. They can shoot up, they can shoot down. They're kind of like a jacked up squirrel. They got more HP, more damage. They can scale pretty well together. I think they do a good job against falcons, a little bit bad against chameleons is my my thought process. Look at this. Yes! Yes, Shavinbaby. Oh my god, now I see what you're trying to do. Xnor could not let that happen. He's coming out for the engagement. One falcon goes down, but yeah, these cams getting up on these raccoons and eating them for breakfast. A little bit unfortunate there for Shavinbaby. And I think that's really what's holding raccoons back right now, is that I do think they're weak to chameleons. And chameleons are just... like, you shouldn't be surprised to see chameleons in Xnor's defense. I mean, I think your first tier 2, most games, is either going to be a cam or a skunk. Depending on what kind of game you want to play. So Xnor is going to take that victory and throw down a tier 3. A lot of one-base tier 3s today. And makes perfect sense. Shaven is on the back foot. He's a little bit nervous. He's throwing down that MG. Maybe he's looking to sneakily kind of reclaim his frontline mill over here. But Xnor going to grab it first. Oh, free money here, but I'd advise against taking this engagement. Shaven is going to stand his ground and lose the raccoons again. That is very brutal. Probably thinking about conceding, but is going to stay in it. I mean, it's a tournament match. You might as well play it out till the very end. But taking that second rough engagement is probably the nail in the coffin. Xnor just playing it cool. Gonna wait another minute, get this Badger here, push and say GG. If I'm Shaven in this position, I mean, Shaven doesn't know about the Badger. It'd probably be very demoralizing to see it. You know, I don't know what you can do. I mean, maybe some balloons, but that doesn't... Unfortunately for Shaven, this was talking about when Meek was playing a heavy defensive structure game. Like, this would have been great if there were 2 mills right next to each other. Like, if Shaven spawned there and then this was right here, then you can kind of create some balloons and MGs in such a way to defend 2 bases at once. But, you know, right now, if Shaven's using defensive structures, he's only defending the main base, which the main base is really not worth very much anymore. Now that we're past the 5-minute mark, the first 4 farms have fallowed out. The next 4 farms aren't going to be much longer in this world either. So in order to invest in a lot of defense, you really needed that defense to be doing a couple things at once. But Xnor doesn't care about game theory. He's got the Badger. He's marching forward. Couple MGs. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. This Badger can get the rev up. Here we go. Here's a big engagement. Well, you want that Badger to take some hits, you know, tank some damage, but not die. So, especially with the pigeon support here, this Badger's just going to cruise right through the base. And GG, Xnor is going to take the game 2-0.